Hello everyone. My name is Naman Goyal and this is the last lecture of this chapter which is comparing quantities. So in this chapter we are going to cover only one topic which is introduction to compound interest. So as I told you in previous lecture, interest is of two types. One is simple interest and another one is compound interest. And what is simple interest? If there is a particular amount you borrow from somewhere and we applied interest on that principal amount only. Okay. Compound interest, what we are going to do for first year, we apply interest for that amount only. And for second year, we also applied interest over interest. ओके तो जो पहले हमारा इंटरेस्ट था उसके ऊपर भी अब हम इंटरेस्ट लगाएंगे राइट सो इफ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट इंट्रोडक्शन टू कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट. So compound interest is the addition of interest to the principal sum of a loan or deposit, or in other words, interest on interest, right? As I told you, we applied interest on interest in compound interest. And in simple interest, we only applied interest in what? Principal amount. And in compound interest, what we are going to do, we apply interest on interest, right? So this is what compound interest, right? So it is the result of reinvesting interest. Okay, it means what? If we invest 1,000 rupees in some project, so in first year it will give some interest, and I invest that interest into that particular project, है ना? For example, अगर मान लो if I interest 10,000 rupees in a project, okay, in a business I invest 10,000 rupees. Okay, now after that, with interest, it becomes 11,000. So now I deposit 11,000. I invest 11,000 on that project. Now, second times the interest on is applicable not on 10,000. Now, second times interest is applicable on what? 11,000. So it means what? Interest is applicable on interest. So that interest is known as compound interest. Okay, rather than paying it off out. Okay, so that the interest in the next period is them earned on the principal sum plus previously accumulated interest. As I told you, are you getting my point? So this is the basic idea for compound interest. Okay. So now there is a formula we have for compound interest. So if you see the formula is what? A is equals to P into 1 plus R by N raised to power NT, where A is a total amount, P is principal, okay, R is interest rate, okay, N is number of times interest is compounded per unit time. What N is what? N is what? Number of times. You can say that simply number of times. Okay. And T is what? Time. For how much time you borrowed that money. Okay. This is time. So we have the formula which is A is equals to P into 1 plus R by N NT. Okay. Where R in decimal. Okay. Okay, now see, in some books it is also given that A is equals to P into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to power N. Okay, where N is the time, years, R is percentage in percent. So this formula is become simple to use, right? So we can use any formula. If you want to use this formula, you can use that. If you want to use this formula, you can use that. But this formula is become easier, simple. Okay. Okay. Now we are going to do some questions. Then we after that we are going to do these questions. Okay. Okay. So question is, find compound interest on rupees 12600 for 2 years. Okay. At 10% per annum compounded annually. Per annum compounded annually. Okay. So as we know that the formula for interest is what, A is equals to P into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to power n, right? Where A is the amount, P is the principal value, R is rate, and n is time. So in this question, what we have, E is A for A. What we have, 12600, 1 plus R is what, 10 upon 100, right? And n is what, 2 years, right? For 2 years, so it will be 2. Okay, so if you solve this, it will be what, now this will be cancelled out, it becomes 12600. If you take LCM, it will be 100 by 10 square, isn't it? So if you solve this, how much you got, 11 by 10 into 11 by 10, right? It will be like this. So 0 0 cancel out each other, it becomes like 126. This is 126 become into 121. So if you solve this, you will get 15246. See, this is total amount. After 2 year, you will got total amount, right? Okay, so question is asking for CI. So simple, not simple, it is compound interest is what, amount minus principal, right? So what is the amount, total amount we have? We got total amount as 15246 minus principal is 12600 minus 12600. So what you will get, 2646, right? So this is the total interest you will got on 12600 for 2 years for rate 10% per annum. Are you getting my point? So this is the question we have. Okay, so we can do these types of questions, right? Okay, so this is the basic idea of compound interest. Okay, now we are going to do some more questions. Okay, with the help of that question, we learn how to do questions. Okay, now see, question is, find compound interest paid when a sum of rupees 10,000, when the sum of rupees 10,000 is invested for 1 year. How much year? For 1 year he invests, and 3 months. 1 year and 3 months. Okay, at 8.5% per annum. This is the rate. 8.5 is what? Rate per annum. Okay, compounded annually. Compounded annually. Compounded annually. Okay, so we have to do this. Okay, now first of all, the time is in year and month also. So what we have to do, we have to convert that time is in year, because the rate is per annum annually, right? So what we have, 1 year solution, right? Okay, now see, time is 1 year 3 months. So for 1 year 3 months, it will be 1 3 by 12 years, right? So it will be 1 1 by 4 years, right? Okay, now as we know that the formula is what, A is equals to P 1 plus R by 100 into how much, n, right? Now if you see, in this question it is given that R is what, 8 1 by 12, so it became 17 by 2, right, percent. So if we put the value, A is equals to how much rupees he wants to invest, 10,000, right? So it becomes like that, 1 plus R is 17 by 2, and into 100 in denominator it becomes 200, and n is what, 1 1 by 4, isn't it? We have this one. Okay, now see, first what we are going to do, we are going to find out for 1 year, because time is in 1 1 by 4, so it is not possible to find out the power as 1 1 by 4. So what we are going to do, we are going to find the interest for 1 year, not interest, amount for 1 year. After that particular 1 year, we can find the amount. We can find the simple interest on that particular amount for 1/4 year, right? Simple interest, right? देखो हम क्या कर रहे हैं, पहले इसको 1 year तक तो कंपाउंडली कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं, राइट? आफ्टर 1 year जो हमें अमाउंट मिलेगा उस पे हमें इंटरेस्ट लगाना है. So what we are going to do, we are going to find out the interest on given principal value for 1 year, and after that the amount we got, we are going to apply the simple interest concept on that particular amount for 1/4 year. Are you getting my point? ठीक है, तो पहले 1 year के लिए लगाते हैं ना. So for 1 year amount will be what? 10,000, 1 plus 17 by 200 rest power 1, right? So if you solve this, you will got 10,000 into 217 upon 200. 20 will be cancelled out. It will be cancelled out by 50 times. So how much you got? 50 into 217. So if you solve this, you will got 10,850. Now see, the point is now the amount becomes this. So for next 1/4 year, what we are going to do, we are going to apply the concepts of simple interest over this amount, right? So now simple interest is what? PRT upon 100, PRT upon 100, right? So P is what? Now this becomes P, right? So 10850. R is what? 17 by 2. PRT, right? R is 17 by 2. 17 upon 2 into 100 in the denominator, and N is what? 1/4, right? It becomes 1 upon 4. Okay. So if you solve this, you will get SI as 230.56. You will got this one. Okay. So now after 1 year, this amount you got. Okay. So for 1 year, the interest is what? So interest for 1 year, right, is what? This amount minus 10,000, right? So it will be 10,850 minus 10,000, right? So how much you got? 850. नाउ टोटल इंटरेस्ट इज बहुत, देखो हमें ये तो पहले ईयर में इंटरेस्ट मिला, फिर ये 1/4 ईयर के लिए मिला. सो व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, वी हैव टू ऐड देम. सो नाउ फॉर टोटल इंटरेस्ट it will be 850 plus 230.56. Okay, so if you see how much we got, final answer यहाँ लिख रहे हैं, I am going to write down the final answer here. If you add this much amount, you will got 1080.56. So this is the concept when the time is not given in complete years. Okay. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to do some questions. Okay. Okay, are given in this slide. Okay, now what is the question? A bank offers 5% compound interest, calculate an half yearly basis. It is for 6 months, right? A customer deposit 1600 on 1st January and 1st July of the year. Okay, at end of the year, the amount will gained by way of interest is. Okay, so basically there is a man, a bank give 5% of the interest, compound interest, right, on the half yearly basis. Okay, now see, 5% is for 6 months. Now for Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June and July. So for 6 months he invest how much amount? 16,000, and in July he invest more 16,000, right? Okay, Okay, now first of all we are going to find out it is asking for total amount, right? Total interest. Okay, now see, for this particular question, what we have, listen, see, we have 6 months, and the amount we have, which is 1600 for first 6 months. I am just asking for first 6 months, 6 month interest. So for first 6 month interest, it will be what? Same formula, P into 1 plus R by 100 into N, power raised to power N. See, R is 5 and N is also 1, because it will be half yearly basis, right? On half yearly basis, so it will be what? Principal is what? 1600 into 1 plus R is what? 5 upon 100 into 1, right? So it will gives what? 1600 into 105 upon 100, isn't it? So how much principal amount you got after 6 months on 1600 at the rate of 5%? So how much you got? 16 into 105, right? How much you got? 16 into 105, it will be 1 rupees 1680. So rupees 80 interest you got, right? Now after 1 month, after 6 months, you invest 1600 more. So for 1600, for this 1600, the invest you more. What is the, see, first simple interest is what? Rupees 80 is this first simple interest first. Now for this 6 month, you invest 1600 more. So second interest, you got how much? Rupees 80 more. Okay. Now listen. Now question is not finished. Question is not finished. Why? Because now that amount which you invest in Jan, it will be already invest from July to December, isn't it? So then what you have to do? You have to find out the interest for that particular time also. Are you getting my point? So you can do this question like that. Okay. Okay. So if you solve this, you will got option E. Are you getting my point? Okay. 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 Yes. Now we have to do this question. Okay. This is a good question. Okay. Now see, in this particular question, it is given that, let me select the pen first, right? Without pen, I'm not able to write down. Okay. The difference between the simple and compound interest compoundedly annually on a certain such a money, sum of money for 2 years at 4% per annum is rupees 1. Then the total amount it will be asking. So what I can do for solution, what I can do, let the sum be rupees X. I can take sum will be rupees X. Now compound interest is given. Now first of all, I am going to find out the compound interest. See, amount principal is this, so total amount is what? 1x plus 4 upon 100 into 2 years minus x. Minus x is what? Because I want to do what? I want to find interest only, so it will be what? Compound interest. So if I solve this, how much I got? X 1 plus, it will be cancelled out by 21 5 times, right? Minus x. So it will be what? 25 plus 1, 26 upon 25 square minus x. So it will be 676 upon 670, 625 x minus x. So if you solve this, you will get what? 51 upon 625x, right? Okay, now this is what? Compound interest. And we know the formula for simple interest also. It will be PRT upon 100. So P is x, R is 4, and T is 2 upon 100. So if you solve this, you will get 2x upon 25. Now according to question, the difference between these two will be 1, and it is definitely sure that compound interest is greater than simple interest. So the difference of this one and this one means 51 upon 625 x minus 2x upon 25 will be 1. So with the help of this equation, we can find the value of x, right? See, LCM is 625. So 51x minus 50x is 1. So the value of x you will got rupees 625. So the answer for this particular question is what? 625. Option A is correct. Are you getting my point? So this is option A is correct. Okay. Now next question is what? See, in this question it is given that there is a yes, there is 60% increases in the amount on 6 years at a simple interest. Okay, if there is a amount I invest, so 60% amount increases in 6 years at a simple interest, then what will be the amount of, what will the compound interest of rupees this after 3 years at the same rate? Okay, so first of all what we have to do, we have to find out the rate with the help of that principle, that simple interest concept. Okay, so what I can take, let p is equals to rupees 100. For make calculation easy, what I take p is equals to rupees 100. So then si, simple interest is what, 60, and time is what, 6 years, right? So as we know that the p is equals, not p, si is equals to prt upon 100, right? So with this formula, we can say that R is what? SI into 100 upon P into T. So SI is what? I take SI as 60 into 100 upon 6 into what? 100. So it will be what? 10% per annum. So what I get? Y got the rate. So by taking rupees principal values as 100, it becomes easy to solve, right? Okay, now P is rupees 12,000. Okay, T is what? 3 years, right? And R is what? 10% per annum. Now you can find the value by using this concept. Okay. So if question is asking for compound interest only, right? So it will be 12,000 amount, which is 1 plus R upon 100 raised to power 3 minus 12,000, right? Because it is asking for what? Only principal amount, and not amount. It is asking for compound interest only. So it will give what? 1 2 0 0 basically. Now it will be cancel out each other, and it becomes 1 upon 100 minus 12,000, right? So 2 k 0 will be cancel out each other, and if you multiply 120, see this is what, 121, 121 multiplied by 120, right? So if you multiply this, you will got what? 14520 minus 1 2 0 0, right? Minus 1 2 0 0, right? So if you solve this, how much you got? 2520. Is there any calculation mistake I do? 10% I got. Okay, so 10 10 11, it gives 11 by 10, not 11 by 10, 11 by 100, right? So if you solve 121 multiplied by 120, 121 multiplied by 120, 14520 basically you got, right? Okay, so let me tell you one mistake I done here. This is the time is not 2, right? Time is what? 3, isn't it? So it becomes 3. So let me erase this and we are going to do it again, okay? Basically the value of t, let me rewrite down this, okay? देखते हैं ना एक बार. Okay, now see. It gives what? Let's see. It is 11 upon 10. So it becomes 1 2 0 0 into, it is what? 10 upon 100, right? So it becomes 1 upon 10, na? So 11 upon 10 raised to power 3 minus 1 2 0 0, right? So if you solve for 121 into 11, so it will be, see, it will be what? 1 2 0 0 into 1331 upon 1000. 3 will be cancelled out, 30 will be cancelled out, it will give like this, right? Now let's see what you will get after this step, what you will get. So it becomes into 12, right? So it will be 15972 minus 1 2 0 0 0, right? So if you solve this, you will get rupees 3972. How much you got? 3972. So this is your answer. Option C is correct. Okay. So this is all about what? Compound interest. Okay. Okay. So thank you so much. Stay safe and enjoy.